Hey everybody, welcome to the shop today. Look at this. So, recently I found, with the help of a friend, an excellent, unmolested stock for a 1917 pattern rifle. Now, these are getting very rare, very hard to come by, and this one has been sanded and has a really nice bright finish to it, but other than that, it is unmolested and uncut. So I thought this would be the perfect stock for my 1917 Winchester rifle action. So I asked my guy to stick my action in the bluing tank, and we've got a freshly blued action. This is gorgeous. So let's get to putting this together. So, as we continue with the M17 projects, we need to install the safeties first, and the safeties are pretty simple. There's just a little cam here, and it rides on this little notched follower with a spring behind it. But these can be just a little bit tricky getting them seated into place. What I've found is easiest is coming in from the front, depressing the little cam follower here with a little punch, and that'll allow you enough room to start inserting this in and snap it into place. So I'm going to get that done. Alright, just like that, the safety is back on, and everything looks good and happy with this. So the next thing, there's a little tiny block that bolts on right here, and for the life of me I cannot figure out what this little block is for, but it's got a little plug that corresponds with this little hole, and I gotta tell you, I am at a complete loss for what that actually is or what it could possibly do. Anybody out there has any idea, let me know, but we're going to get this piece on and keep going with the reassembly. So, now that we're ready to install the action into the stock, the first thing, do not forget this little ring that holds the upper handguard. And that just slips over the receiver end, just like that, and now we're ready to put this into the stock. Alright, now we're going to do the front sight, and it's actually held on with a little key, and there's a little keyway machined into the front sight hood, and a corresponding keyway machined into the end of the barrel right there. So pretty straightforward. Once that's in, there's a little groove in the keyway. Come on, focus. There's a little groove machined into the keyway, and that's for a pin to keep it pinned in place. So let's get that done. Alright, so here we are with a completed rifle. We got all the correct parts, and I actually managed to find all matching Winchester marked parts. And the only thing I am missing is the little stacking ring for the front barrel band. So that's not the end of the world. Also, the two upper handguards are actually new reproduction that I found through Sarco. So, tell me what y'all think. Does she look alright? I think it's a gorgeous rifle. Now, the rear sight, I did put on the Bad Ace no drill scope mount for the 1917 and P14 pattern rifles. But other than that, she's good to go. What do you guys think? Okay, so when I found that stock, I was actually in the process of building this. This is another Winchester, although it has been ungracefully modified by Bubba. So I was building this into a target rifle to have some fun with 30-06. But this one, until we decided to go ahead and re-blue it with the other rifle, I did not notice because the bluing was so worn and spotty, I didn't even look. There are no barrel markings. No acceptance marks, no nothing like that, except that. And when it came out of the bluing tanks and I realized that it was marked 30-06, I realized this is not a factory barrel. This is actually an aftermarket barrel. At some point, someone rebarreled this for 30-06. So, that's a nice little score. But, all that aside, we have to still get this rifle built. Now, using one of the Savage round top rails, we actually are lined up on the two front holes perfectly. Rear, not so much. So we got to trim the rail back a little bit here, and we've got this spot right here that we need to deal with. Now we're gonna drill a third hole back here so we can get a nice firm screw hold into this area right here. That's not a problem. But what is a problem is whoever did this did not do it properly. The height of the receiver ring surface is not the same height as the rear of the receiver, and this does not sit down flat. You can actually hear it. It's not a lot, probably somewhere between 50 and 100 thousandths difference. So, we blued it, but my buddy is going to have to do some fancy work on the mill to get this squared away, and we're just going to have to destroy a little bit of this great bluing. Not the end of the world, since it is going to be hidden under the rail, but yeah, it is what it is. Also, we're going to thread the barrel for a muzzle brake, and my buddy wants to try his suppressor with 30-06. So, we might be trying a suppressor on this and see how that works with 30-06. Other than that, this action is ready to be finished. We've got the rail. We need to do a couple little things to get that all in order. And the stock right here, another Boyd's Pro Varmint stock, and I've already gone through and done the action bedding for the front lug, and it fits really, really nice and tight. So I'm going to get to work to this, and we're going to get started on the machining of this week, and this one should be done in a few days, hopefully. So come back for another video, and we'll finish up this target rifle very, very soon. Catch you later.